What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning the Mexican month. David Benavidez, Terence Crawford, get this. This is what David Benavidez said against, or about, Terence Bud Crawford. He said, I respect Crawford a lot, but I don't want to see a 147-pounder fight a 168-pounder. David Benavidez believes that he should be Canelo's next opponent, not Terence Crawford. The unbeaten Benavidez feels he clearly established himself as a true super middleweight who has earned a shot at Alvarez's unified titles, okay? And he said, to be honest with you, I don't want to see that. We've already seen what happened when he fought somebody from 154, Jermell Charlo. So what's going to happen when he fights somebody from 147? I respect Crawford a lot, but I don't want to see a 147-pounder fight a 168-pounder. I understand Crawford is a great fighter and he wants to go up to 168 to fight Canelo. But if you ask somebody at 112 pounds to come up and fight Canelo, they'll go up to fight Canelo. You know what I mean? So it's just basically everybody wants to fight. But you know, we as fans deserve competitive fights. You know what I mean? And that's why I feel Canelo doesn't want to fight me right now, because he knows it's the most competitive fight and I'm working like an animal in the gym. That's why he knows this. And let me counterpunch. First off, David Benavidez is a savage. He's a young, hungry fighter and he's hell for anybody. But I think that Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez won't fight anyway. I don't think that's on that's not on the radar for Canelo anyway. Okay, I think what's best for David is to focus on Boo Boo, because Boo Boo is a guy that, even though Canelo has called him and labeled him pretty much a horrible fighter, horrible fighter, right? But he should also understand that horrible fighter is also a very good fighter and an unbeaten one. Okay, so you have to respect it. And if he doesn't respect that, talking about Terence Crawford and Canelo and what the hell Canelo's going to do, he may miss the ball. You know what I mean? We almost seen that shit with Tyson Fury, because Tyson Fury was so busy. And he even though he said, I'm only focused on Francis, obviously he only was not. You know what I mean? So basically, psychologically, when you are mentioned another opponent while in preparation with another opponent, you're going to inadvertently, by default, be thinking about that fighter, because people are going to be putting it in your head and in your face. That's what I love about Floyd, Money Mayweather, because Floyd did not tolerate that type of psychology and that mentality by bringing someone's name up for recognition, by bringing somebody into the mental thought factors of challenging them. He's not the challenger at that time. That's why it was like, we're not going to talk about Manny Pacquiao. We're not going to talk about anybody but Miguel Cotto, but Shane Mosley, but whoever he was fighting. We don't want to talk about him. We ain't talking about him. We talking about the fighter in front of me, which is a game fighter. He's a good competitor. You know, I think he's going to be a tough fight for anybody, but he's a tough fight for me tonight, and we're going to talk about nobody else, right? That's what Floyd does. And I think these guys have these interviews because they really talk about something that they want. And we all know David Benavidez wants to fight Canelo Alvarez. And I think he's so busy or worried about Canelo to a certain degree that he may take his energy off the ball. People do that shit all the time. No disrespect to him. Like David Benavidez, I love to see him fight. I seen what he did to David Lemieux. And David Lemieux was an absolute monster. Right? But he destroyed him. And I feel that Jermell Charlo and Terence Crawford are two different fighters, or two different animals. Jermell Charlo did not come to fight, for one. So that's not fair to compare those two. He was just looking at something of size and not style. None of those guys have anything in common whatsoever. You know what I mean? Terence Crawford, if anything, if Terence feels Canelo's if the fight happened, okay, theoretically, if the fight happened, and Terence Crawford, Canelo gets in there and, throws those, that, bah, bah, those shots. And he throws those shots and Terence feels it. He's like, oh shit, this guy can hit like a damn sledgehammer. Maybe this is what I didn't anticipate. Even if that happens, the mentality of Terence Crawford will be to get you back. Now, what I will respect about Terence, he will rather get knocked out than do what Jermell did. Or he can box good enough with those long arms to just at least do a Eris Ladilada. You know what I mean? Just fight, just box him from the outside. And I don't know if that will stop Canelo, but, he would definitely try. Whereas Jermell Charlo was a little bigger than Terence Crawford, and he didn't. So the mentalities, I feel, would be different. You know what I mean? But I see the point he was trying to make. Like, look, I don't want to see a 147-pounder fight a 168-pounder. I would rather see me first. But, I mean, I can understand why he says that, because he's at the same weight class as Canelo Alvarez, okay? And he is the mandatory. I think in the WBC or one of them, right? So I think if anything at all, I feel that David Benavidez should be that guy. But don't worry about Canelo as much as Boo Boo. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think about David Lemieux saying what he said about Terence Crawford. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!